But this week we're going to be talking about what's really important. That would be Jackson Hole. Will what Powell say tomorrow tank the market, or will Nvidia end up having something to save us? We're going to talk about it all this week. And just like that, I am your host, or we are your host, excuse me, Don Voyani with the Gorilla with Glasses. And as always, I am with Alvaro Pereira of the Bilingual Stock Market channel. How are you today?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Doing well, thank
Are
you.
we even live streaming? I mean, we have.
Trying to find out
Yeah,
right
we're trying
now.
to find out. Yeah, if anyone can hear this
Oh,
or
yeah. We are live, Alvaro. Here is the link. I'll put it in the Discord.
okay, please if you can, because I cannot see myself. So I have the wrong link, and that implies that everyone else has a wrong link. So can you please share it with me over there? And this is live TV, guys. So stuff happens.
Hmm.
If you have it, let's see what
I
we
put it in
can do
there. Let's
here.
just get everybody going here. I'm not
Yeah.
really sure why it was giving us this much trouble.
It's been a tough one today, so
And there we go. I put that in the.
on the main chat. Okay, let me see. Welcome to our live show. So we
Yeah,
gotta
there you
be.
go.
Yeah, we're streaming. Yeah, nobody has this link. Yeah, this is just the two of us. Where did you get this link from? So let
I
me
went to
share.
your channel. I went to your channel and it said you were live.
Wow. So whatever. Let me see. I gotta do some things here. Okay. Hold. Yeah, there's no one here. There's nobody here, but we can do it. Let's see if we can pull this up. Let me see. Yeah. There you go. Let me see. Okay. So let me get done with this quickly. And then we'll figure out what is going on here. So let me go to Christian's Discord and do the same thing. Okay. Let me delete it. Okay. No. Yeah. Yeah, we have some people
Yeah. No,
coming over.
perfect.
So yeah. Okay. Hold, guys. This is live TV, so it's a tough one at times. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. This is the right link. So we ended up messing up with the link. There you go. Hey guys, welcome folks. Okay, now I need to let me okay. We don't know exactly what happened. This is the link. Well, yeah, so some people are coming over. Sorry guys. I mean,
Yeah, we do appreciate the patience,
patience,
guys. Yeah.
correct. Correct, yeah. Yeah, so what's up? Please drop a comment down below and let us know what stocks you want us to go over, what topics you want us to talk about. And
So
I
let's just take
think,
it fresh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's.
Welcome to episode 8 of Charts and Checks. Typically, we take 3 of your favorite stocks, look at them from a technical, financial, and fundamental perspective. But this week, we're going to focus in on what matters, and that would be Jackson Hole tomorrow morning and Nvidia 5 days from today. I am one of your hosts, Don Voyani, the Gorilla with Glasses. Here with me, as always, is Alvaro Pereira of the Bilingual Stock Market Challenge. We got an hour and 20 minutes before I got to run to the airport. So, Alvaro, say hello to the folks, and where do we want to begin?
Well, guys, yeah. Sorry once again. Our apologies, and yeah, let's get the party started. So, Powell tomorrow, 10
Right.
a.m., and then we have Nvidia next week reporting earnings. So, what's more important? Powell or
I
Nvidia, both are equally important, maybe. I mean,
I think we saw that coming out of the tariff tantrum, and I mean, obviously, we had a about face from the White House on that April morning. The market decided that AI matters more. As long as we're spending on AI, we being the economy, being the powers that be, we can pretty much guarantee that the enterprise economy, the people in the GPU game, are going to keep whatever lackluster activity in the consumer economy afloat no matter what. So, in my opinion, Nvidia is more important than Powell, but that's not to say Powell isn't important. And a lot of crazy, I mean, you're a trader, you know it. A lot of craziness can happen between Friday at 10 a.m. and when Nvidia reports in the afternoon, I think Thursday afternoon. So there's a lot there's a lot of moving parts there.
Yeah, what the guys are trying to figure out is like, should I buy calls or puts? So there are three potential scenarios.
Yeah.
One bullish scenario, one, can we say, nothing burger scenario,
It's in the middle.
and a bearish scenario. So from your point of view, what's the bullish one, the nothing burger, and the bearish one? In a few words.
Yeah, in a few words. Obviously, the bullish scenario is that Powell comes out and he's like, hey, you know what? I'm actually okay cutting not just once, but maybe twice this year. I think that while inflation is coming through the pipeline from tariffs, there's nothing that increasing, decreasing, or doing anything the Fed's fund rate can do about it. I'm worried about the jobs market. And it's my understanding that if the job market goes to shit, then I've lost the whole boat. So I'm going to defend the job market. That would be the bullish case in a word. The nothing scenario, the nothing burger scenario is
It's possible. It's a potential scenario.
Well, yes, I would put it at a 1%.
A very balanced Powell, like, okay, I might cut in September, but
yes. This is the nothing burger scenario, in my opinion. I think that we're going to get what I'm going to call a hawkish cut, where he acknowledges the weakness in the labor force and says, listen, we're going to cut a little bit to buy our companies and our people some time to go ahead and keep their current labor forces, make them feel a little confident, maybe spur a little bit of activity. But we're not going to do anything more than that, or anything more that is necessary to keep this labor market in equilibrium, because we are concerned about what lowering rates might do in an environment where we see tariff-driven inflation coming into the economy. That would be a nothing burger for most of the market. But I think your opinion, here's mine. If we get that, you're going to see the home builder stock sell off.
Yeah, those are very interest rate sensitive. Yeah,
you're going to see
stocks,
what I called a couple of weeks ago a rate nothing day, where you're going to have tech and secular growth stories lead, and you're going to have things in the real economy, the industrials, like broadly speaking. There are going to be some exceptions that prove the rule. You're going to see them losing. I think the Russell could be down 1 or 2% on that. It's just difficult because, I mean, the VIX isn't even at 20. It can't even buy itself a beer in the country. And we're going into a meeting where it feels like there's going to be a binary result.
Correct. And the bearish one?
The bearish one would be he comes out and
I'm
he's
more
like,
concerned about inflation than the labor market.
well, he's like, hey, you want to cut? We're not cutting until 26, maybe. I think that would be the bearish scenario is he takes a cut off of the table, or says we're only going to do this one cut and puts himself in the box.
In the case of the bearish scenario, I would be curious about. I mean, the bearish scenario, the first casualty is going to be the IWM, small caps.
Sure, I would agree.
So those are going to be that is going to be the first casualty. But I would be curious about maybe seeing interest rate sensitive stocks going down and being under a lot of pressure, but at the same time, maybe the Magnificent Seven kind of holding up, the Apples of the world and the Microsoft of the world, because those companies don't care about interest rates. So that could be a bit tricky, right? Tomorrow, if we happen to have a very negative reaction. So
I totally agree with that statement. And if we get a negative, it's hard for me to imagine the market in the moment of Jackson Hole is going to act in a way where it differentiates between winners and losers. I think everything is going to be down, or everything's going to be up. So, but to your point, IWM would most certainly be down the worst, but that doesn't mean that the mega caps will be spared. But we do know from the advent of the last 5 years of lived history, when people are concerned, the market's going down and they're like, it's starting to look like a bargain. What do I buy? Everyone always goes into the Mag 7, the tech staples, for exactly the reasons that you mentioned, which are, it doesn't matter what's going on in the economy for the most part. These companies can grow no matter what the environment.
And they are investing billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars in, artificial intelligence, infrastructure, and data centers and stuff like that. So yeah, so far so good. for
Yes.
those companies. Okay.
Hold on.
From a trading, yeah, go ahead.
Before we move on, what is your best advice as a trader going into Jackson Hole? Like if it was going to be your first ride day trading during this kind of event, what is the one piece of advice that you would give to somebody staring this down?
So I've been actively trading the Federal Open Market committees during 3 or 4 years. I've been doing it live with the members of my Patreon. So we do it live. And the most important thing, if you want to either buy calls or puts while Powell is speaking, and the Jackson Hole Symposium could be considered another kind of Federal Open Market Committee, right? Press conference. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
So
it's a retreat.
I determine a bull pivot and a bear pivot. Okay, above the bull pivot, I am more likely than not, or I would be considering buying calls, either SPY or triple Q. Okay, if the price action remains within my bull pivot and my bear pivot, I might not do anything. It's happened. We've had some Federal Open Market Committees press conferences in which the markets haven't done much, right? But if the bear pivot is broken to the downside, if it breaks, I am likely to short the markets or get put options. So that's what I do. So my I would say that the most important thing that you need to keep in mind if you want to trade the tape is that, first of all, this is going to be very volatile. This is not for the faint of heart. And I have been successfully trading Federal Open Market committees during many years live with the members of my Patreon. And I don't listen to Powell. I don't care about whatever he says. I don't listen to him. I just listen to what the price action is telling me. Again, I determine a bull pivot and a bear pivot. The SPY bears above the bull pivot, I am more likely than not grabbing calls. And if the bear pivot breaks, I am shorting the tape. So just don't listen to Powell and be careful because it is a very volatile tape. So don't do crazy stuff. That's my advice.
That's a great piece of advice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and you will be live on Patreon. So
yeah, of course. I'm gonna be streaming the whole thing. So Nvidia next week. Please drop a comment down below.
And HRB,
the live chat. What do you guys think?
English.
But I would like to ask the guys. I would like to ask the guys. So Nvidia, is it going up or down? Okay, so Nvidia. This is your specialty. What are you expecting, man?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're expecting something amazing. I think the expectations going in are that we're going to be looking to see just how much money Nvidia has been making by selling those H20 chips. And honestly, I generally listen. Margins are always going to be a concern, but because of the conversation surrounding Nvidia's foothold in the Chinese market being what it is, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny there. I don't know if you remember on CNBC, Howard Lutnick, I think he's the Secretary of Commerce or Trade, whatever, came on and basically was like, we're not giving China our best stuff, our second best stuff, our third best stuff. Maybe it's our fourth best stuff. Apparently, the people in China took that personally. Who would have thought? I mean, I would too. It was just a stupid thing to do. You got what you wanted. You didn't need to brag about it on national television like it was some sort of victory lap. Right. And the next thing you know, we have all these headlines about the Chinese not knowing if they can trust the Nvidia quality, if there's spyware in it. And I believe that Jensen Huang, the second he saw that, got on his G7 and went over to China to smooth that out because that's just the kind of dude that he is. But there are rumors that the CCP has been telling their homebred companies like Alibaba and ByteDance to, whenever they can, buy local chips and not Nvidia
instead
chips.
Of the H20.
So I think there's actually.
Do you think that could be affecting the commercial guidance?
So it's possible that it will show up in the quarter, and I think people are looking for it. But the caveat is this: we all know that Nvidia is the cream of the creme. I don't think ByteDance or Alibaba are actually buying from someone else. They might just be appeasing the CCP by temporarily delaying their purchases of GPUs or doing them in a way that it seems more spread out.
Good. So let me show the guys the expected move, Dan. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a 7.7% expected move, 8% pretty much. 71% of earnings whisper subs believe that Nvidia is going to once again, beat on EPS and revenue and stuff. And 58% believe that the price action is going to be positive, that Nvidia is going higher.
I mean, yeah, could be.
Take a look at the revenue. It is expected that $46 billion.
Yeah, small number for them. No, I'm just kidding. That's crazy.
I mean,
That's a
they
very
always beat on
impressive
revenue,
number.
right? So
Still an impressive number.
you're expecting the same behavior, right? Like they should be easily beat expectations on revenue and EPS and stuff.
I would expect them to. There's no reason at this point. Every single piece of news we've gotten coming out of the White House, coming out of name your favorite journal, has indicated that Nvidia has done what they needed to do to basically operate as freely as they can, given what the Trump administration is trying to do.
Yeah. So take a look at this then. So revenue would be going up quarter over quarter from 44 billion up to what? How much did I say? 46 billion. So that's a modest increase quarter over quarter. And year over year, you're looking at, wow, from $30 billion
Yeah.
up to $46 billion. Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, this is
Here's what I would
unbelievable.
say. If you're like
Wow.
going to look at the report when they release, you're going to be looking at margins, the gross margins. You're going to be
Bro,
looking at
that's
the
a
Blackwell uptake, and you're going to be looking at the China revenue, data center revenue, and then China's contribution.
this is a 50% year over year revenue growth, Dan. Wow. Impressive, man. I mean, um, what do you think with the stock trading at how much? $174?
I mean, that's near an all-time high. It's so difficult because in this earnings season, you really had to do something special to not get slapped on the wrist 5 to 10%. I mean, even IBM had a good quarter where the revenues maybe came up a little bit short, but every single other indicator was positive. Cisco also had a good quarter. No, not Broadcom. They're yet to report. You get the idea. We've had some very strong reports that have been greeted by 3 to 5% declines. Even Uber the first day, which is a phenomenal report, down 5% at one point. I got a feeling that this is going to have the same fate just based on the momentum. But if we come out of Jackson Hole and we avoid the 1 or the 2-3% sell off in the SPY or the SPX, then I think Nvidia has a chance to not necessarily fall after the quarter. Because like right now, I just feel like the risk is to the downside for any company that's reporting.
Yeah, the expected move is $13 approximately. That's what the options market is expecting. And let me ask you a tricky question. Say that Powell tanks the markets tomorrow as a
Sure.
whole. Like,
Yeah.
he sounds super hawkish and stuff like that.
We ain't
And
cutting. Yeah.
you're right. We ain't cutting. We need to wait for the next for the next CPI and PPI, whatever. Okay. Say that Nvidia kills it next week. Would that be like? Can that be like some sort of of salvation for the markets if we are falling off a cliff after
Absolutely.
a hawkish Powell potentially
If
comes
Powell
out
comes
tomorrow?
off hawkish and the S&P starts actually falling, like having some days where it's down 1 or 2%, we're in pullback territory, nearing a 10%
Say that
correction.
the general sentiment turns sour. Let's just put
Yes.
it that way. And we're speculating. We are not saying that Powell is going to be tanking the market tomorrow. Okay, full disclosure. But Nvidia could change everything, right? Next week if
Correct.
they post a way better than expected report.
Well, the interesting thing about it is that if the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq is down 5 or 10% in a week, Nvidia is also probably down just that much or more. So the expectations will be lower for Nvidia from a price perspective. And if we have this moment where sentiment is souring on the stock market, and arguably the most successful stock in history is trading at what looks like a discount and then gives you a quarter that reminds you why it's the best stock in history, you're going to get a lot of people buying Nvidia. So it definitely has a chance to save us if Powell ends up dropping the ball, so to speak.
There you go. So this is going to be by far the most important
it is
market
funny though.
situation next week. So
It is funny how this stuff comes up though, because if you would have told me that the big issue going into the third quarter of this year was that Powell might be a little bit too hawkish and that it would be up to Nvidia to save us, and I wouldn't have been able to foresee that scenario leading to the weakness or to the recovery that we've seen in the market. So it just comes to show you that you never know exactly what's going to cause the next elevator ride down. But the fact that we seem to be bracing for it, or at least everyone is talking about it, I actually kind of think that we're going to get a nothing burger out of Powell, and then we'll just see what Nvidia does.
yeah,
So
this
who
company
knows?
trades at 35 times forward earnings. This is not an expensive valuation for Nvidia. I'm sorry, but this is not an expensive valuation for Nvidia. Take a look. So
Yeah.
yeah, and again, this is an important comparison that we should be doing every single time that we analyze a company from a financial standpoint. So, for instance, in let me go back to the ratios. So it is trading at 34 times forward earnings, 35, let's just say. Okay,
Yeah.
so on Q3 of 2024, Nvidia had a pretty much the same forward P ratio, 31, say, on Q4 of 2024. Now it trades at 35 times forward earnings. And take a look at the net income that this company was making on Q3 of 2024. This company was making $9.2 billion
Oh, the growth is insane.
with pretty much the same multiple then. Now it trades at 35 times forward earnings, and take a look at the net income that this company posted on its last earnings report, $18.7 billion. So obviously the price appreciation of the stock hasn't had a very negative effect to the upside when it comes to the multiples that this company is trading at as of now. This is impressive. It is very
Market's
impressive.
not stupid. Yeah, market's not stupid. I agree.
Yeah, and it's all about the future. So I don't know. At some point, the demand is going to get to a top then, but I
Right,
cannot.
but then
I am not going to be trying to guess a top.
hopefully by then though they have that, they have a very sticky software side of their business where they will get some recurring revenue. It obviously won't be to the same level at which they're recording revenue now, but hopefully if they're not having to make GPUs and they're just, servicing subscription and software, it's much higher margin. So there is a world where you're right, demand for GPUs will one day peak and Nvidia will need to digest that. But if they've developed a software business that's higher margin, they could have a very graceful transition from high growth to normal growth company.
Agreed. And folks have to keep in mind then that this is a cyclical business.
Quite.
Semiconductor companies are cyclical by nature. So what Nvidia has done during these last how many years now? 3 years or so?
Let's go
It's
through.
it's historical.
Mhm.
So but at some
There's
point, yeah, this will be once again a cyclical company. It is what it is, right? So, but I am not taking a gamble on the fact that that is going to be taking place
well,
soon, at least, right?
traditionally that has totally been the case, and I'm not saying that Nvidia is going to become the first semiconductor to be acyclical or economically insensitive. But who knows? It's interesting if they can make the transition from hardware company to software company, then they might break that mold. But to your point, Nvidia will no longer be just a hardware GPU company. It will be a software company. It will be something completely different.
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct. Agreed. Okay, folks. So what stocks you want
Yes,
us
let's
to
take some
go over? We have 30 minutes before you
just
have
about.
to.
Yes.
Are you taking an Uber to the airport?
My brother's gonna come and grab me,
Oh,
and then
okay. Okay.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
because
drive
they are
out
asking
there.
about Uber. So.
Let's talk about Uber. Uber's a great stock. You want to pull it up?
Okay. Okay. So let me pull up here the technical chart of Uber real quick. And do you like the company?
I still love the company. It's one of the few companies in a very high conviction basket that I hold. Names that are under $300 billion, but have the potential to be 1 million, or sorry, $1 trillion companies. Their last quarter was stellar, despite all of the concern about a softening consumer. Their the mobility segment did well. Even the Uber Eats segment did well. And it's a little bit different from, you would expect that if the consumer is strapped, that there wouldn't be as much money going into rideshare, as much money going into Uber Eats. But I think what Uber has continued to prove is that their consumer base is made up of a more affluent customer that just isn't as
Yeah,
impacted by how the
100%.
economy is doing.
Correct. This is a very good looking chart above all the moving averages.
Hmm.
We can see over here a rising 5 DMA. I mean, I don't see any reason for Uber to, you know, not keep going higher, guys, as long as this stock can consolidate above $94. Previous level of resistance that acted as such on multiple occasions, above 94. Yeah, we're looking at $96, $97 coming up for Uber potentially. And of course, every single technical analysis, guys, that we carry out today is going to be subject to the general market volatility. If Powell, tomorrow goes like all in,
Yep.
hawkish mode, then of course, I mean, most of the stocks out there could be under pressure. But again, in regular market conditions, above $94, it looks like we have higher prices coming up for Uber. Hey, you don't buy the theory that this company is going to be disrupted by Tesla, right? By
No, I mean, it has,
by
well,
Tesla's
first of all,
robotaxis and stuff.
it has a greater possibility of being disrupted by Waymo than Tesla. With all due respect to what's going on over there, they don't
But
they
they
don't
are
have it
partnering it
together.
up. They are actually partnering it up, right? In some
Yeah, no, and
cities.
and that's the point I'm trying to make. I think that anybody that cracks autonomous driving is going to be forced to partner with Uber, and they're going to become the aggregators of the autonomous driving revolution. In my mind, as here's the thing, I'll be, full disclosure, I do have a fairly large position in Uber across
There you
many of
go.
my accounts,
I didn't know that. So
and
you're a proud shareholder. I didn't know that. It's good to
oh
know.
yeah, well, my cost basis is also in the 40s. I've taken the cost basis out a handful of times. I'm just letting the house money roll. But the reason I'm still long is because I believe that it will become basically the aggregator of all demand, which is going to be all profit for these autonomous driving, these rides. It also has the potential to become a top 5 advertising platform overnight if they wanted to start advertising in these Ubers. And thirdly, the
I don't.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I don't actually understand why Elon is so reluctant to partner up with Uber. If Tesla actually, guys, starts its own ride-sharing network, they will be losing a lot of money at first.
It's
I
going
don't
to be
know.
another bloodbath. Like Uber offers
Correct.
its in,
I'm we're talking about a company that has already a very poor financial performance. So, but Elon is super reluctant, to
Mhm.
partner up with Uber, and he has said on multiple occasions that he doesn't want to do it. I think that's a mistake. He should partner up with Uber, and
Mhm.
he might actually end up doing it. I don't know. What do
Well,
you
the
think?
honest truth is this, and here's the technology behind it. Like for you to have an autonomous car, Waymo, I believe, is level 4 autonomous, and I think there's only 5 or 6 of these levels. Tesla's robotaxi is not even level 2. They're not there. Tesla's going to need to pour a lot more money into developing the product before they can even think about developing the infrastructure. And I think that's where Google and the rest of the Mag 7 during the 2022, 2021 bear market all found religion on expenses. I guess Tesla just completely missed that call. I think had Google not gone through that era of needing to become more efficient, Meta's year of efficiency, they might not have been so open to partnering with Uber, but they see the benefit of let's just have a business that makes money in 2 years instead of in 20.
Bro,
And that is honestly the kind of that is what Uber brings to the table. You can have a profitable autonomous rideshare business overnight if you partner with them the right way.
gotcha. I hadn't taken a look at Uber's multiples recently. I'm surprised, bro. So the P ratio is at 16.
Well,
Really?
I mean, it's
Forward
technically
30.
Alvaro, do you know what Uber is considered? What kind of company it's considered?
It's a transportation company.
It's an industrial company. So I think it's kind of
All right.
artificially it trades in like all these
Now, but there,
industrial
there,
baskets.
there's a tech component to it, right? I mean,
Of course
obviously.
there is. Of course there is. But for
Correct.
whatever
So,
reason, the same reason that Amazon's considered a consumer discretionary company, Uber is considered an industrial company.
gotcha. But take a look. So, do you have a price to sales of four?
Yeah, no, it's
Four.
awesome.
And
It's
take
still
a look
cheap.
at the revenue growth. Yeah, this is not an expensive stock, guys. 18% year over year revenue growth. Take a look at the revenue growth of Uber, guys. It trades with a price to sales of four. Some of you guys are paying Palantir a price to sales of 100. How can you complain about a price to sales
No,
of four
Uber
in the case of
Uber is
Uber? I
very
mean,
cheap. Uber's cheap. The only issue is that you can always make the argument that in a recession people are going to stop doing X, Y, and Z. But in my opinion,
the affluent consumer I
Right.
mean,
Doesn't care.
correct.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So,
Right.
okay. So keep an eye from a technical standpoint, guys. Just keep an eye on the level that I told you. Above $94, it looks like, and again, in regular market conditions, that this stock could keep going higher. They are asking, let me see, we have a lot of requests here. Hey, they're asking, do you know anything about Oklo?
Nothing new.
Nothing new. Okay.
I know that after reporting $0 in revenue,
Yeah, they're making the revenue
people
zero.
on the street still came out and overweighted it. They really believe in the concept and the theory of it. If I were someone considering Oklo, again, I would look at something that's already working, like Constellation Energy, CEG. I
Correct.
see someone ask, sorry, this is just a very similar vein. I see a lot of people asking about AMD and Lyft. Guys, stop buying the second best company in the space. If you want to buy Lyft, buy Uber. If you want to buy AMD, buy Nvidia. And if you're trading, it's a different thing. But for me, it's all going to kind of come and go as those leaders go. If you want to play the second best, understand you might end up getting second best results. That's what I would say about
I
that.
agree with that. From a technical standpoint, Oklo doesn't look good here, guys.
Oh, that looks
But
bad.
yeah,
That
it
looks
looks
outright
bad.
bad.
So I was keeping an eye on the 5 DMA today. It failed at around $69. The 5 DMA is downward sloping, so this is an absolute no touch below this downward sloping 5 DMA. Let me zoom out here a bit. Yeah, so this 5 DMA is coinciding with the previous support back from early August, previous resistance back from early June, back from early June. So yeah, maybe above $68. The bulls could be gathering momentum in order to make another push higher. And they could be potentially filling the next potential gap to the upside up to $74. So above 68, I would be curious about Oklo. Below $68, so below this 5 DMA. Needless to say, if this 50 DMA is broken to the downside, $65. If this $65 level breaks to the downside, this could even be a short opportunity, guys. Take a look at how this rising 50 DMA has been acting as support, guys. And Oklo has not traded below the 50 DMA since early May. So keep an eye on these two levels, guys. Very important level, rising 50-day moving average, $65. And I could be a bit constructive about Oklo, above $68, $69 approximately. There you go. And this is an absolute speculative company. By the way, Dan, do you know who is pumping this company?
Oklo, I actually have no idea. I'm not super familiar with it.
Our boy.
Oh, is it Dan Ives?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah?
yeah. Our boy
All
Danny
right.
is
All
pumping
right.
Oklo. He said that this is the future and stuff like that. And he actually had the audacity, bro, of determining a price target of $80 or $85. I mean, since this company isn't making any revenue, so I don't know how was the Knives able to put a price target on it, but I mean that's what happened. We'll see.
Somebody has to do it. Who
There
better
you
than
go.
him? Yeah. Somebody has to do it.
Okay, do you know anything? Let me see about, yeah, I mean this is a full house,
You
bro.
want to talk about
Unbelievable.
MVTS really quickly?
There you go. Yeah, they're asking about MBTS. What is it?
Yeah,
It's a
so
semiconductor stock,
if
right?
I understand correctly, and I've only done a little bit of research on this, it's a US based company that does power semiconductors. It's let's not get into the weeds on it. It's important for data centers, mobile stuff, EVs, solar inverters. It's big to the whole idea of AI and decarbonization. The thing that I think separates them from other people doing the same thing is the fact that in May of 2025, they entered into a partnership with Nvidia to develop high efficiency power solutions for computing AI workloads. But unfortunately, I mean, it's only been since May, it's been 3 months, but unfortunately, that partnership hasn't, at least in my opinion, looking at the financials, it hasn't translated into turning a profit. So it's a super, I would imagine that big spike you see there coming out of that range. Oh, wait a minute. Was this a SPAC?
Was it?
What's the price before it opened? Is that a 10? Was it $10? Was that what that is?
Yeah, hold on for a second. I'm trying to see something here. No, this was I mean, I'm thinking
Was that
that,
$10? What price is that
yeah,
right there?
no, this is a buck. So this is
Oh,
when
okay, then never
someone
mind. Then
found
that's
out that they are partnering up with Nvidia, I guess, right? That's what
yeah.
that,
No, that must be it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they
So
gotta
I
be.
mean,
The
I
news
think the
came out and
market
this stock went up. Yeah, this was a penny stock, bro, before that
it's
Nvidia
still at
news
the.
came out. Yeah.
Oh, I guess it is $6 now, no longer a penny stock. Um, Yeah, no, I mean, again, this is something that I think is highly speculative, and it's not really it's doing something adjacent to Nvidia, not trying to do exactly what Nvidia is doing. It's definitely an interesting, in my opinion, speculative stock, and you should get the benefit of it being US based, not subject to tariffs. But in my opinion, we're kind of past the whole tariff winners and losers thing. We're going to go and end up in a world that's 10 to 15% baseline tariffs, and that just benefits companies that are bigger than smaller. So
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything special about this, but maybe you can find a trade in there for people.
Yeah, I wanted to take a look. I wanted to show you guys this. So there you go. So take a look at this. This is an anchor VWAP that comes from the day that this stock, exploded to the upside when, people found out that they are supposedly partnering up with Nvidia.
Mm.
So this anchor VWAP is showing us that the average market participant that started a position on NVTS from that date, which was on May 21st of this year, has an average price of $6.51. So these guys already, I mean, we can make a case that most of them already capitulated. So I would wait for NVTS to recapture this level, $6.50, before trying to do something here. This is a very ugly looking chart. Let me go to,
Would you consider puts on this?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, closing candles below this anchor VWAP that comes from this day. Yeah. So take a look. So this stock went from $1 up to $9.43. So the markets were kind of digesting the partnership with Nvidia, and now these market participants that were able to grab shares at $1 or at $2 at a very good price. They average up on their positions, and now most of them decided to run away, and move on, because the average price is $6.50. So this would be a no touch, in my opinion, below that level. And if we take a look again at the 4-hour chart, let me go again over there and show you. Yeah, this is not a good looking chart, so not a stock that I am interested in whatsoever. Before we move on to another stock, yeah, take a look. This is a major downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows, downward sloping 5 DMA. And take a look at how this downward sloping 5 DMA is actually coinciding. This decline in 5 DMA it is pretty much coinciding with the anchor VWAP that I just showed you guys that comes from May. So maybe above $6.50. I mean, maybe, why not? Who knows? We could be doing something here below $6.50. No touch, in my opinion. There you go. Okay, what else are you guys asking about? We have 37 minutes. Yeah, we've gone over a bunch of stocks. So what do we have here? Let's go see. They are asking about, so we did Oklo. Do you have any thoughts on Webull or Open Door?
No, Open Doors interesting. They got rid of their CEO. I mean, but deservingly so. That one falls into the rate cut play, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. At some point, whenever we
but that's all. I mean, behind the stock, there's a gamma squeeze. It's very obvious, right? The person, unfortunately, again, the name escapes me. I should remember these people, but the person that's pumping that stock is the person that bought Carvana at like $1,
$3, yeah,
or $3, whatever it was. So his name means something in this space. If I understand correctly, if I read his tweet right, he thinks Open Door could be like an $80 stock, but he got into Open Door at like 25 cents. So if you've been following Open Door with him, you are swimming in it right now. Like, it could go to $10 and it would be the greatest trade of all time. That's, in my opinion, if you're going to start.
Are you willing to take a shot? Like, no. I don't know, maybe this thing goes up to $10.
No. Well, I mean, it's, if you're going to trade Open Door, what you're trading it'd be like investing in Roaring Kitty during the GameStop era. It works really well. You just have to have your finger on the pulse of this stuff.
Correct. Take a look. So these are, because the trading session is unfolding as of now. Well, we are going live for you guys. It's 3:15 p.m. In the East Coast. So these are the hottest tables in the casino today, guys. So Nvidia is the hottest table as of now. 1.7 million contracts are or have been traded, with 63% of those contracts are call options. Cool. But take a look at this at Open Door. This is unbelievable. This is a penny stock, guys, that is within the 10 hottest tables in the casino today.
Yep.
And this situation has been taking place during the last 2 weeks. So there is something going on over here, bro. So far, we have 547,000 contracts traded. And take a look at the flow, Dan.
Yep.
80% of the contracts that have been traded so far today are call options.
Yeah,
There is
no, it makes
there is
sense.
something going on here.
Well,
Yeah.
again, if you want to believe in the rate cut story, tomorrow's your catalyst. I mean,
So this would be a beneficiary of a dovish Powell. Yeah, that's a very good point, Dan.
yes. Mhm.
100%. Yeah,
Let's talk
100%.
really quickly about Figma. If you just want to pull up a chart,
Sure, 100%. Let me go. Let me do it quickly. Hold. Okay.
I believe the ticker's just Fig.
FIG, I think, right?
Yep.
What is this company about, bruh?
So Adobe
I
was
mean,
going to buy
I
them.
knew about the IPO, but I have no idea what this company does.
I'm not going to lie, I'm not familiar with them either. They were
Okay.
Adobe was going to buy them years ago, but some regulator said no. And here's the thing about stocks like this is what Figma to me is illustrative that we are maybe closer to the end of this IPO window than anything else. You had that first big day pop, and it just hasn't been able to do anything since then. CoreWeave is under pressure. I think Circle's still under pressure. Bullish is under pressure. You have these stocks that get priced at 30 or 40. They open at 90, go to 150, and then they just start slowly coming back
Yeah,
down.
we definitely had an IPO mania that
As
has
as so-
absolutely faded away.
as someone who's seen a handful of these, they're really fun to play when they're starting and when you're in the middle of them. When you get close to the end, which is what the action in these recent IPOs are showing us, this is where I would recommend. I mean, I don't recommend anything to anybody. I don't know who you are, but the risk is really to the downside when you talk about playing these IPOs near the end of the IPO boom cycle.
Correct. This is a very ugly looking chart, and since this thing is an IPO and it's been trading for a couple of weeks only, so we don't have a lot of technical, information, technical data available. So just stay away from this. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the markets have a huge rally tomorrow because we have a dovish Powell or a friendly Powell relative to the financial markets. If this thing bursts above the 5 DMA, $75, which by the way was pretty much the price that this stock started trading 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks and a half ago,
Yeah.
maybe above
I mean,
$75, this thing could be doing something. But I mean,
it's not just this one. Like, look at Bullish, BLSH.
yeah, that's another one, bro. I mean, when I saw the the BLSA, so when I saw the name of this company, I got scared. I was like, this has to be like a market top signal. So
Oh, yeah.
you have an IPO that is called bullish. So
Yep.
this is the most bearish thing that I have ever seen in my entire
I mean,
life.
do you want to know? Do you want to know what I think what I thought the most bearish thing ever was?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I was wrong. This happened like 8 or 9 months ago.
Okay.
It's when Jensen Huang signed that lady's
See,
tits.
yeah, it was terrible. That was
I
terrible.
was like, oh, we're at
Yeah,
the
there
top.
was a.
We're at
This
the
is the
top.
top. This is
This
the
is
top.
it.
Okay, so bullish, and this is a crypto exchange, I think, right?
So I'm going to be honest. They had to file an F1 and not an S1. They're international, based in the Caymans. Just stay away from this piece of shit. It's
Correct.
this.
Agreed.
Okay, sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way.
No, I agree
There's
with you. I agree. We're on the same page.
they're trying to make the case that they're going to be like a better brokerage for institutions and like take share away from Gemini and Coinbase and whatever. And I'm like, whatever. It's not
Yes.
for me. I won't lie. I was offered through Fidelity a chance to get in at the IPO price. I think it priced at 34. I mean,
35,
obviously
34,
that would have
correct.
been nice. But you look at this business from someone like me who's definitely more long term, and there's just really nothing for you here.
Yeah, when it comes to trading IPOs, and I rarely ever trade IPOs, and the members of my Patreon know that, I use the 5-day moving average
It's a good use of it.
as
Yeah.
a gauge. Yeah, because in the case of the 5 DMA, the 5-day moving average, it allows me to have I would say, a good idea of who is in control of minor timeframes. And in the case of these IPOs, we don't have a lot of technical information, so available. Most successful traders advise not to trade these stocks until they have at least 6 months public trading.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I just use the 5 DMA, below the 5 DMA, a no touch, and above the 5-day moving average, which I know that most of you guys are not familiar with daily moving averages. This is a simple moving average, a 5 simple moving average on the daily chart. That's it. I mean, if you want to trade this thing, I don't know, maybe That is the case. Hey, the guys are asking about APLD. Are you familiar with this company, Dan?
What's the
Apply
actual name of
Digital,
it?
Apply Digital, APLD. This
I'm not
stock
familiar with
seems
the
to
stock.
be about it seems to be about to have a major breakout to the upside. The chart looks very good. It is up today above all the moving averages
Yeah,
over
I
here.
mean the market's not stupid. That's very bullish. I don't need to know. I don't need to know what this stock does to know if the market thinks it's doing it right. So,
And that good things are
mhm.
coming over for this company. But take a look. Check this out, Dan. So this is a 4 hour chart. It looks beautiful. It looks very good.
It looks
And we
clean.
and we can make a case that if this stock consolidates above the 5 DMA, $15, maybe we have a test of the 52-week high coming up, $17. But take a look at what happens, bro. If I pull up a weekly chart here, take a look at this.
Oh, I like that.
Take a look. This thing seems to be about to have a major breakout to the upside. I
Yeah.
mean, 27 to $30. This is a very good looking chart. I am not familiar with the company itself, but I mean, the chart looks very bullish.
Yeah.
So
That
above
looks
this
fun.
level, guys, yeah. And this is a stock that we've been trading on Patreon. So yeah, about $15.50. This stock could keep going up. Hey, they are asking over and over and over again about one of your favorite stocks, Reddit.
Yeah,
We're
let's talk
seeing
about it.
profit taking here. There
Yeah,
you go.
and I will be honest, I joined them. I'm up I was up 95%, so I took out my cost basis 2 days ago.
Oh, that's
But
great, man.
I'm letting
Congrats.
the profits roll.
When
There's
did
nothing,
when did you enter this stock then?
believe it or not, this is one of the ones that I bought in April.
Oh, awesome, bro. Congrats.
So
That's
I
great.
added to it a couple of months after that higher, but I
Hey,
mean
but,
that's what you
oh,
do.
so I need to ask you something. You bought this stock looking very, very, very ugly. So
Yeah.
this was a purchase out of conviction, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
you consider
I
yourself
determined
a bull of Reddit.
yes, yeah. I love the fact well, so everyone's trying to find rich and unique data to train their AI models. And I couldn't think of a better place than Reddit if you wanted to train your AI models how to think and sound like a human.
Wow.
All we have Reddit that has hundreds of I mean, I don't know how many subreddits. Let's just say thousands of subreddits where people are specialists in certain tasks. The only other place I could think that would be better for like teaching an AI how to sound more human and they'd be assholes is is Twitter or X, but Elon already owns that one, so that's off the table. I
Correct.
just see a world where Reddit doesn't need to advertise as much, and they don't really do a lot of advertising now, and they just focus on selling access to their databases to people that want to train AI models, and that's a super lucrative business.
So you still have a position over here? You trimmed a little bit.
My position is about half as big as it was because
Oh,
I
okay, you
just
trimmed a
sold
little
half.
bit, which is good. Which is good.
No,
Um,
it's a 2% position in my portfolio, so it's not
okay.
nothing, but it's also not the 4 or 5% of a or 3 to 4% of a normal position.
So I didn't. I mean, I think that I they traded the earnings report, but I don't remember. I mean, I think that I remember that the report was like way better than expected. So do you think that
Yes.
this dip will end up being bought up?
I do. And what's interesting to me is that I think this top the same day as Palantir did. I think a lot of people all at the same time just decided we're going to sell the biggest winners to have some
Yeah,
cash.
and the higher multiple stocks and stuff like that. This is a higher multiple stock as well. So yeah.
Of course, but it's not just a matter of well, if your stock's doing well, chances are you're a higher multiple stock. Like you're not going to see
Yeah, if the
uh,
stock went up 150% in 6 months, yeah,
yes.
it is
Yeah, you
probably a
understand.
higher multiple
You
stock.
understand what I'm getting at. You understand what I'm getting
Yeah,
at.
you're right about that. I give you that 100%. Bro, this is a 20. I mean, if this thing keeps dropping and pays a visit down to this upward sloping, rising 20-day moving average at $202, this would be a 20% drop.
Yeah, I
Would
mean,
it
listen, the reason this stock is almost in a bear is like you said, almost in a bear market. I
almost in
think
bear market? Yeah.
ServiceNow is in the same. There's a lot of stocks right now that are almost in bear markets that you should be looking at buying. It's you just have to wait until after Powell because these are the reason they're falling right now is because they're anticipating Powell not being super accommodative. At least that's my opinion. And if we get follow through on that, this stock could fall plenty more. That's
Yeah.
why I decided to take profit. This was the first time
Yeah,
since
it was a.
April I've felt as though, well, I guess not April because I bought it in April. This is the first time I like looked at the stock and I'm like, oh, There might be a gap to fill to the downside here. Let me protect myself.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. And now the 5 DMA is starting to decline a bit. $230. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a test of this rising. 20
It seems
DMA,
inevitable.
$202. Yeah, it looks like it might be headed that way. Where would you be adding to your position then? We have the 50-day
Where
moving
where
average at
where where's the gap up? Go higher than that.
here.
No, no, no,
So,
no. The earnings report.
okay, here it is.
Where did it go? Yeah, there, around there.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's $189.
I would be looking to add there because I would suspect that there's a lot of demand there. That should be support. I
At the
would wait
top,
until it actually defends it, but that should be support.
okay, perfect. Yeah, $189. Yeah, this thing went from 157 up to 184. Okay, yeah, and if that were to happen, yeah, so this level is going to be a bit higher relative to the 50 DMA, which should still
Well,
be rising. So yeah, this could
yes.
be a level of interest, a potential level of interest.
It's
Everybody
possible
did
that the
on Reddit.
50-day gets to 189 before when the stock tests it.
Yeah, and I'm curious about. Yeah, I got to check on this, bro. So let me see. I really need to take a look at the earnings report. So
Sure. Real quick,
let me
while you're
see.
doing that, I'm
Yeah.
going to read some of the comments in the chat here, or I'm going to look at some of this. Drigo, CoreWeave, it falls into the same bucket as Bullish and Figma. Like IPOs are out of style at the moment. People are taking profits. You also have the added issue of the lockup period on insiders coming up. They think that they're going to sell a lot more than before. So you just have to wait until that stock finally shows some signs of bottoming. In other words, like just wait for a week or two where you see CoreWeave's price goes up instead of down. End phase is going to be super difficult just because of everything going on in the budget plan with solar. I'm long first solar. It's a pain in the ass. I wish you luck. What
Yeah.
else we got here? Eli Lilly just increased their price targets on, or sorry, increased the amount they're going to ask for their GLP-1 medication. That's why that's been rallying. If I'm skipping over your name, it's because I don't know the name. And it looks like
Yeah.
Alvaro. Yep. All
Bro,
right. Yeah. Go for it, man.
take a look at this. This is insane growth, bro. So 77% year-over-year revenue growth for Reddit. Unbelievable. And take a
Yeah. No.
look.
It's a beast.
They did 61% on the previous quarter, year-over-year revenue growth, and now revenue came out at $500 million,
And this isn't just
up
advertising. This
from
is them.
392 million. Unbelievable. I mean, this
And
report
yeah,
was unbelievable, man.
this is them
Wow.
selling money or selling money. This is them selling access to their database to people that want to train AI models. The biggest deal is obviously with Google, who's using Reddit to help with Gemini search, and
Yeah,
that's
but
really working
hold, bro.
itself through.
So you mean to tell me that this revenue growth comes from companies, AI-related companies, paying Reddit to have access to their platform?
Yeah, so Google is the biggest, and it looks like Reddit, their CEO, is going to look into more deals about this. They're basically selling access to their databases to train AI models or to get them up to speed on learning on specific topics.
So as the artificial intelligence industry keeps growing, so that's a bull case for Reddit, right? Because people
Yeah,
believe that this is just an app or a social platform where people hang out in order to buy GameStop and AMC and stuff like that. This company is more than that.
no, I mean it definitely was the home of the Wall Street's bets thing, still
Correct.
is. But the
But
way
if
that the reason you invest in Reddit at $230 or $220 where it is right now is because you believe that they're going to secure more deals to sell the data on their platform for people that want to teach or train AI models.
Yeah, this is impressive. I mean, impressive.
They also
77% year-over-year revenue
do
growth.
you use Reddit
So
at all?
if this stock keeps dipping, keeps going down, the likelihood
No,
for
you
the
got to
dip
this
to
is
end up
something
being
you
bought
want to
up is very
buy.
high. Yeah,
Real quick, Alvaro, do you use
yeah.
Reddit?
I do not. I do
So
not.
I'm on there every so often, and I will say this: they do have ads on there now more than they used to, but it's not a pain in the ass. It's not overly intrusive. They could be doing a lot more to generate money if they were. I don't want to say smarter about their ad strategy, but if they adopted some of the methods that Meta is using on their platforms, there's a multitude of ways for Reddit to print more money beyond just AI, but if they can do it without it, they want to keep the goodwill of their users and their shareholders.
This. I mean, I didn't know that they traded the report because I am actively trading earnings reports. Once they come out, I never buy neither calls or puts. And yeah, like, I kind of remember that the report was very good, but I mean, at 80% year-over-year revenue growth, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. It's crazy. And most of that growth comes from, artificial intelligence related activities. So that's like, that makes the story, like even more sexy. So that's impressive. That is very impressive. Hey, the guys are asking about SoFi, my
Sure, pull it
BlowFi.
up. My
I'm gonna
my
go.
uh my my mind on that hasn't changed. I think they are going to become the American Express of the banking space. That's going to give them an amazing consumer base to actually go ahead and
Wow.
act like a mid-sized bank that can leverage the fact they're tech forward. And while I mentioned that, before we dive into that, I see a lot of people asking about Oscar. If I understand correctly, that is a telehealth company that is very tech forward and is very customer centric. They're doing healthcare a little bit differently, but I just don't know anything else beyond that. So I just don't want people to feel like we're leaving them out. But as for SoFi, they have the flywheel to
But
convert.
but 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 Dan, I gotta ask. So you say that this company could be the next American Express?
I think it will be
But
the American Express of the bank space.
perfect. But do you see any like similarities, in the future when it comes to the market cap? Because American Express is a $250 billion market cap company.
That's a
So do
good
you,
question. I haven't thought about it that way. I think a better way to look at it would be to see what it looks like against regional banks, because I feel as though it's going to be a mid-sized. It's hard to imagine that this becomes one of the big three quickly, because that's just going to take. There's so much institutional money in the big banks, and I mean like institutional wealth. Like my family has Bank of America. I have Bank of America.
me
It's kind
too.
of like that.
Me
You know what I
too.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's my first
SoFi
bank.
is
Yeah.
more of like the college students that have their student loans that are being converted to people who are, banking with SoFi. They're going to have a really great deposit base of people that will become, the top quintile earners in the country. It'll allow them to grow faster. They have no physical location, so the cost is lower. It'll enable them to have better margins. I would look at it more as a comparison of they should be the biggest regional bank, and then you can start talking about other other milestones.
And I would say that most of the SoFi's shareholders could end up being like customers of the company. I am a
Oh,
customer, by the way. I like the products that they offer,
yeah.
and I would say that I am a happy customer. So many of you guys that are buying SoFi will end up, opening accounts
It's
with them.
nearly
That's
a
bullish as well.
$30 billion company already, and there's nothing wrong with being a customer of the stocks you own. In fact, those are some of the best investments.
Yeah, from a technical standpoint, take a look at the 5 DMA of $23.50 above that level. SoFi could be going even higher, up to $25. This is the most recent 52-week high. This chart looks very good, and keep in mind that this is another very sensitive stock relative to interest rates. So if tomorrow we get the hawkish Powell, or we get Powell the hawk, that could potentially put downwards pressure over SoFi. But this is a very good looking chart, guys.
Yep.
Above all the moving averages, all of the moving averages are rising except for the 5, which is flat. So above $23.50, I would be going along SoFi. This is a stock that I am trading, on a constant basis, I would say. Yeah, me too. I love Bank of America. Yeah. What about Honeywell? I mean, the only thing that I can tell you about Honeywell is that their headquarters is here in Charlotte, and that every single time that I go to the Bank of America Stadium, I have the building right in front of me. Do you have any thoughts on Honeywell?
I don't. I don't
It's
really
a
do a lot of investments in the conglomerates. I know they're trying to
industrial,
simplify their
so
business,
yeah.
but
And yeah, I mean, this is not a good looking chart below all the moving averages. If this thing can now to capture the 5 DMA, $216, I mean, this chart could be signaling a potential short position here in Honeywell. It doesn't look good at all. Yeah.
let's real quick. This is one of mine. I don't want to call it my favorites, but I've held it through bullshit. General Dynamics GD.
Yeah.
You familiar with that one?
That's it. Of course, yeah. I'm gonna put it up. Excuse me.
Yeah, pull that up for us and get a chance. You're good.
That's a defense contractor. So yeah.
Yeah, they make the ammunition that goes into Abram tanks.
I didn't know that. I gotta tell you. I know that this is a defense contractor, but
They
I
also
didn't.
make NATO compliant rounds. I just want to show people because a lot of the defense names, well, some of them are coming back to life, but
Do you remember the ticker symbol? It's the
GD,
General Dynamics. Here it is. Yeah, correct. I got
yeah,
it.
a lot of defense names, especially LMT, because everyone thinks that the
That's the
F-35, whatever,
largest one, right? I think
what was that?
that's the largest company market cap wise within
Yeah,
the.
well,
I mean,
I'm not sure.
except
It's just everyone. I think.
putting Palantir aside, of course.
Well, I just think it's if you can share your screen just so they can see the chart of this thing.
Oh my
It's
bad! I thought it was doing it. Sorry.
no,
Yeah.
you're all right. It's
Okay.
it's interesting because very rarely do you see companies like in this space do so well. If you zoom out even more, give like a full 1 year, you'll see that it's trying to get above the prior all-time high.
The chart looks very good, man.
The
I
stock
mean,
wants the stock wants to go. If you want to like get some industrial exposure, it's hard to argue that you're going to find a better chart than this. It's easy to risk manage. You can use the 5-day EMA, and yeah. I mean, I just want if
yeah,
people are interested in Honeywell, they want something that's not tech, and this is not tech.
correct.
So
Yeah, or maybe if we happen to, if the markets happen to go on in some sort of risk of mode, this stock could keep going up with most of the stocks out there going down. So
it's just
yeah,
interesting to me because I don't know of any news that's been catalyzing the recent drive up. Their earnings were good, but the earnings were a while ago, a couple weeks ago. And now it's just like trying to decide if it wants to break out or not. And I
yeah,
don't know what news the stock is waiting for, if any,
yeah, yeah.
but
Well,
this one should be on your radar.
yeah, sure. Well, about $315. This thing could be gathering momentum to maybe fill the next potential gap up to $322. It is a very good looking chart. This is a low volume stock. It is a slow stock. So if you open a
Yep.
position here, don't expect to close the position in 5 minutes because
Yeah,
this
this
is
thing
a
has been baking for a long time.
correct.
Yeah,
Exactly. Bro, an hour and 2 minutes, and
yep,
you have to go to the airport
I do.
because
We can do
you
one
gotta go
more
to
if you'd like.
Cleveland.
Do you want to do one more?
One more.
Yeah, one
One more
more.
stock, guys. Robinhood, long term.
Yep. Yep. I
Long
took my
term.
cost basis out of that too. So now it's just
Oh,
house money and
really?
I can sit back and watch it do what it does.
Hey, I gotta tell you something about Robinhood. And this is something that is really eye-catching. So most of the crypto-related stocks have been under a lot of pressure since the Genius Act was passed. But in the case of Robinhood, bro, this is the exception to the rule.
No, it's crushing it, and I love the fact that so many people are
And
still
we can
holding
agree on
on
the
to this
fact that
thing.
this is a crypto-related stock, right? I mean, yes.
I mean, it's more than that, but yes,
But it
yes,
benefits from
yes,
the strength
yes.
on Bitcoin and stuff. So I mean, this is really eye catching. The I don't know, whatever is going on with Robinhood is very impressive because if you take a look at a chart of Coinbase, needless to say, Circle or MicroStrategy or Marathon Digital, those stocks are down a lot. Like 25, 30%. And
It's
in the case,
interesting
yeah, go
that
ahead, bro. No, go ahead, bro.
well, it's interesting because Coinbase wants to become the everything exchange. They want to have cash, they want to have crypto, they want to have stocks, and they talk about how they're racing towards that. And as I listen to them say that, I'm like,
Did you
well,
hear about
Robinhood's already.
mortgages? Did you hear about mortgages?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh yes, yesterday they announced.
Robinhood. Robinhood's doing that.
Robinhood. Oh
So
yeah.
like, but exactly like Robinhood is maybe the closest thing to the everything app that we have. You have futures markets. You
Yeah.
can bet on sports games. You can do options, stocks. You'll
You
eventually
can
be able to
you
do
can
bonds,
refinance your home, so it's like
refinance. You can do credit cards, debit cards, cash management. People don't
yeah.
understand that Robinhood is the closest thing we in the United States have to like an everything app.
Yeah, I mean
So
the company. I mean the way that this company is being run is fantastic. I mean trading wise, keep an eye on the 5 DMA. It is coinciding with a previous level of resistance at which Robinhood failed on 2 occasions recently. This thing bursts above $110, and if it can consolidate above that level, yeah, maybe we have, I don't know, maybe a retest of all-time highs at $117.
I like it.
Yeah, this is a very good looking chart, of
Mhm.
course. Okay, guys, my boy Don Foyani have to go to the airport.
Yes, we're getting out of
So
here.
yeah, we had some issues, on when we started the live stream. So we do apologize for that once again. And yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And yeah, we will see you guys next week, I
We will
think,
see
right?
you all next week. See
Yeah.
you guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks.